Alright, what is going on, everybody? This is Trudger MC, and today we are going to be continuing the Batman and Robin Build-A-Figure wave from McFarlane Toys. Today we're looking at Batgirl, who was apparently the first of the collect-to-build Mr. Freeze, even though her Build-A-Figure pieces don't really match that. But yeah, so here she is, and if you're unfamiliar with this movie, you might be like, who is this? This is not Batgirl. And, well, if you're asking, like, is this Barbara Gordon? This is not Barbara Gordon. This is Barbara Wilson, Batgirl, who is the niece of Alfred, played by Alicia Silverstone. And, yeah, so we'll talk about that more later. But here she is with Mr. Freeze. So, there you go. She definitely is a lot smaller than him, but that makes sense because this guy's huge. And then here she is with Spider-Man, so there you go. That's pretty cool. And then I do also have another Batgirl from McFarlane Toys. This is the Three Jokers Batgirl. So, yeah, I think that the size is pretty good there. And as far as how much size to her she has, we can find out together. So, she stands the top, or to the bottom of her boot, rather, the top of her head, including the little hair poof there at the top. Looks like she's pretty much exactly 7 inches. Or that would make her, let's say, just under 18 centimeters. Give or take. So, here she is. And I have to say, even though this isn't my favorite version of Batgirl, this is definitely still a, it's very accurate to the source material from the movie. I like the blonde hair. How it's got kind of a traditional, like, yellowish tan, or, you know, whatever color that you would have for blonde hair, but then also has a wash in there, like a dark wash over some parts of it, like, especially here in the front. I like the sort of, wash over there. It looks good, it looks accurate, definitely looks like somebody with blonde hair, so that's what it's supposed to be. And then the face sculpt looks pretty good. I like the mask on there. It does look accurate, even though, you know, it is kind of weird that, you know, she has a mask like that instead of a traditional, like, bat cowl. You know, something more like this, even though she had it for, like, 2 seconds in the movie. But, regardless, that's what it is. I actually really like how her face is really pale. I don't know why, I just like the look of that, so there you go. And then she does have these, dark, lips. They're, like, a dark, like, red color, so that's pretty cool. And then, yeah, you have a lot of detail there. Even though basically the whole body is just one color, it's all black, it has a lot of detail on there. So you have a Batgirl symbol there. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but there is a Batgirl symbol on the chest there. So that looks pretty good. And then you almost have like a leather texture, like for the middle part here, with like seams on there to simulate, you know, like the suit being like put together. And you also have these lines there. People complaining about lines on superhero costumes. Well, these were a thing back in 1997 too, so don't worry too much about it. But you do have a lot of lines here along the side. So there you go. That looks pretty cool. The belt looks pretty similar to the one for Robin and Batman, which makes sense. This is from the same line and based off of basically the same design for a superhero costume. So there you go. And then the cape, I have to say, I am a really big fan of the cape. I like how it looks, how it's kind of windswept, but how it also has the scallops on there. And really, I think this looks good, like standing on its own, but then you could also have it, because it's kind of going off to the side and kind of billowing over here, you could have her in like an action pose. And I'll show off, you know, that kind of thing later. So there you go. I really like the cape. The back of the torso, there's not really a whole lot of detail there, but that's okay. And then you do have, for the legs, you have a nice like symbol there on the top there. It's kind of, it almost looks like an M. I know I said that with the Robin figure, but it does look like an M. So there you go, there's that. And then there's not really a whole lot else going on with the boots other than a little bit of texture and like wrinkles on there to simulate that, like, you know, this is actual leather that's kind of creasing a little bit because, you know, it's a person wearing it. And then you do have that same logo on the top of the gloves there. I don't know how well y'all can see it, but yeah, it's you know, got kind of a It's got kind of a, you know, M shape right up here, so that's pretty cool. And I do like the really sharp, pointy gauntlets there. I like how they're not, like, flimsy, like, you know, soft plastic. I like how they're actually hard, and, yeah, they look like they're actual weapons, so that's pretty cool. And then the gloves themselves, they look, you know, they look pretty good, so not too bad there. And then, yeah, so that's about it. There's not really a whole lot to talk about because, I mean, she's basically all one color. So, you know, what more is there to say? It's like, I like the black color. It's like, I like the color black, but that's basically all she is. So there you go. And then as far as articulation goes, you can probably guess that the head doesn't move a whole lot. It can go down about that far, and it can go up about that far. So, yeah, the hair does kind of get in the way, but it can move forward a little bit. Then it can also move side to side, and it can rotate just a little bit. So there you go. About what you would probably expect. For the arms, they can go out about that far. So I think that's okay. They could theoretically move all the way around, but the hair and the cape do kind of get in the way of that, so they can just kind of go forward and back. You do get a bicep swivel, so that's pretty cool. It's a little stuck, but there you go. So you do get a bicep swivel. You do get a nice double-jointed elbow that actually looks pretty good. So I don't know why sometimes they make the elbow joints look really cut up and weird, but that one doesn't look too bad. And then you do get a, you know, a ball hinge for the wrist, so you get a swivel there. And you can also, you know, pivot it like that. So there you go. And then for the torso, if you use both of the joints, she can actually go back really far. Look at that. Look at that. It's a McFarlane figure that can go really far back. That's cool. So that's pretty cool. And then for going forward, she can actually go forward a decent amount too. So I think that that's pretty good. So you do have quite a bit of range there. So that's pretty good. And then you do get, you know, a little rotation there. You can swivel it. And yeah, so there you go. I think that that's pretty solid. And then for the legs, they do go out really far. So I think that's pretty good, especially given the character, because she is like super acrobatic and all of that. Like, she was able to get the jump on Robin without having any training from Batman beforehand. So yeah, she's pretty OP. So they do go, the legs go forward and back really far, so I think that's really good. You do get a little bit of a thigh swivel, not much, but you do get a little bit of a thigh swivel there. You do get a double jointed knee, and that looks good. The proportioning is good. Yeah, so I know it's kind of hard to see, but you do get a nice double jointed knee there. And again, like the elbows there, it's pretty solid. So not really complaining about that. And then you do get a little bit of a rotation there for the ankle, so it can go, you know, side to side a little bit. It can go back, like, you know, that far. It can go forward really far, so there you go. And then you do get a toe joint, which actually looks really good. So I think that the articulation, like, for a McFarlane figure, I think this is really, really solid. So, yeah, if you're interested in a Batgirl that can pose, I'd say that this one might be it for you. So there you go. Now, if you're looking for a Batgirl figure that has a ton of accessories, I don't know about that, because all she comes with is this, and she does also come with a trading card, but I didn't bother to take it out because I already know that the bio on the back of it, it is the same bio that we have for the Batman and Robin figures that we've already looked at. So there's no need to do that. If you want to read it, you can check out one of those other reviews where I looked at that. But as far as the box goes, like, you know, the actual image on there, it's just, you know, that, which is the movie poster and also the box art for the DVD. So there you go. There's the rest of them. There's Mr. Freeze right there. And then that's what she comes with, which, again, given how she's number 1 on the list, it doesn't make sense for her to do that. Like, if you get this figure first, then you'll get the head, the shoulder pads, and the gun, and nothing else. So I think that that's kind of weird. Yeah, so in short, it's like, you know, the accessories aren't really the best, and I would have really liked some alternate hands, because she just has 2-fisted hands, and that's it. So she can punch, and she can kick, and that's about it. You know, I'd like to have her with a batarang or something like that, but nope, you don't get that. But is it still worth it? I would say that it probably is, because even though it's one solid color, like, I'm not good with painting, I'm not good with customizing, but If you are, then you could probably make this figure look really cool. You could definitely give it some paint on there, like maybe some yellow to accentuate like the Batgirl logo on the chest, as well as maybe the belt and maybe like the symbols on the legs and the arms or the gloves, or something like that. Like, you could really make this figure look really cool as stuff falls over. But yeah, so I think that this figure is still cool. I mean, I like it. I'm not really the biggest fan of the character of Barbara Wilson, but this is accurate, and I think that this is a really fun figure. So I recommend it, and especially if you're interested in a figure that has a lot of articulation, because as you can see, this figure has quite a bit of articulation. And in fact, what I like to do with this figure is I like to, because she can't hold anything, I like to have her in kind of a fighting pose, like that, where she's just kind of, running into the action with her fist ready to go. So I think that that's pretty cool. So I like it, and if you agree, if you like this figure, you like this review, you like the movie, whatever it might be, be sure to leave a like. Let me know in the comments what you think. Do you like this figure? Do you not like this figure? Would you change some things? Like, what would you have her come with? Because I think alternate hands are kind of a given, but that's not what they did. But regardless, that's what we have. So if you want to see more content like this, you can be sure to subscribe. You can also let me know in the comments what kind of content you want to see more of. Is it more DC stuff, more Spawn stuff, more, I don't know, whatever it might be. But yeah, so stay tuned for all of that if y'all are interested. And other than that, I do hope that you enjoyed, and I do hope that I will see you all later. Goodbye.